always is. We always say so much random shit.
Hello world, it's your friendly neighborhood poet Destro, and I am here with Nina, Cecilia, and Uncle Musa over there. And you are listening to another edition, or rather watching, Side Eye Radio. We'd also like to give a special shout out and big thanks to our sponsors, Star. You see that thing on the corner of the, I don't know, is it this corner or this? Yes, that big logo. Thank you to these guys for making sure that we are drinking very nice beverages each time that we meet together. Right into it without wasting much of our time. Marvel said we are getting too comfortable sitting here for more than 2 hours. He needs his house back. So let's just get right into it. Today, well, this past week, there's a lot of drama that's been going around. And as a lot of drama has been going around, people have been surviving plane crashes. If you've heard of crashing out, this guy decided not to. Yeah. Have we been familiar with this story?
Yes.
There's a lot of buzz.
There's a lot of buzz around his survival.
And mainly it's for some of us it's TikTok news. Half of it is fake news, but it still delivers.
Yeah.
TikTok
news, yeah.
I remember a period in time when I was still a student at UNZA, and people trusted news that came from Twitter. You know, even though some news would be fake, but apparently a lot of reputable organizations posted the news on Twitter first, because Twitter kind of had like this I would call it an assumption. There was this assumption of prestige that Twitter held at a certain point. I don't know if it still holds that, maybe because I haven't been as active as I used to be. But when someone posts something there,
It's credible.
they're gonna it's credible, it's short and sweet, they're not gonna bore you with paragraphs. Apparently these days you have to pay for paragraphs. But yeah. Someone believes that this man does not exist. He did not really survive.
I heard that the fact that he was sitting in, is it A11? 11A?
Yeah. Close to the door or something like that.
Is there was in 11A?
The emergency exit, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything special about this seat that we should all be running for 11A whenever we book flights.
I think I was watching a particular movie. Can't remember if it was a movie or a series, but there was something special about 11A being a window seat as well. I just can't remember what movie it was. If I could remember all the details, I think I would have zeroed in on how it was so Simpson in how it like predicted someone surviving from seat 11A. Yeah.
I guess they were right because someone did survive. That was a bad plane crash.
Yeah, it was terrible.
There's that guy, I can't really remember the name, but he's Croatian. He survived like 7 deaths, like a plane crash,
Yo.
a boat, something, a car caught fire,
Yo.
his arm broke, and he had to swim with hypothermia, something like that.
Yo.
Yeah, and then I think like the plane crash, I think it was close. I don't know what city it was. I'll need to like research. France, something like that. Yeah, I read like about it some months
Sounds
ago.
familiar.
Who is this guy? Tom
And then,
Cruise?
He's
like
the son of God.
Yeah, when
Child
the
of
plane,
God.
when
Or
the
the
plane
Grim
crashed,
Reaper, because
he landed in a haystack. Like he was ejected for some
That
funny
only
reason,
happens
landed
in
in a
movies.
haystack. Yeah.
Oh yes, 11A was actually in a Tom Cruise movie.
I think it was 11A also.
Yeah.
So
It's-
are
it's-
you-
it was
are
11.
Are you saying that this is a facade? It's not real.
You know, miracles happen. Miracles happen every day. It's
They-
possible that this man exists and he survived.
And the person next to him didn't survive.
Right.
He lost a
me,
brother
like-
on the flight.
He lost, he
On the
lost
flight.
family members,
He was
yeah.
on the flight with his brother.
So the brother died. Apparently, he made it to a phone booth and called.
Wait, he made it to a phone
He
booth?
made it to a phone booth and
Okay.
gave him a call.
Guys. Adrenaline.
Said, look, my
okay.
brother
But you
dead.
like if you see the
Radiation's
videos
dead.
of the explosion, it wasn't just like a contained explosion, guys.
Yeah,
like
it was bad.
But when
it
Yeah.
it was it I'm trying
was an
to think
inferno.
if it exploded here, like the
Mm.
entire woodlands would probably be
Ah.
affected.
Well, it's not
And
a
they
time,
did
it's
say
not a
like
time.
people on the ground, right? There was also 200 plus casualties of the people that were not on the plane. So this guy
Yeah,
just
that's wild.
somehow
Mhm.
skipped over all of those things. And even if you were ejected, right? I'm guessing that's so much force. And then you can walk to Co.
Yeah.
And then you realize that you've got a broken bone after.
And then
Why
you
would he fake such a thing though? That's my question. Like, what would be the intention? Like, where would you find all that blood in so
Swelling-
short a time?
swelling
You
in
would have
his
had
face.
to know that the plane was going to crash so you can show up. And I'm like, what's the point of him faking?
Well, they didn't
that?
announce
Exactly.
immediately. They announced that everyone was dead,
yeah.
right? It's not
Yeah.
like they said, oh, we have one
But
survivor.
obviously, it took
Mm.
time for
Initially,
them to
the
know.
There were
story
no
that broke
survivors,
was
yeah.
there was
You
no
have a
survivors.
database when
Then
you
this one just
get
put
on the
up.
plane.
I
Nah.
think
Said I
they,
survived.
they should be able to go to like the,
The
registry of
database,
the
like
plane.
people who
Yeah. No, I think they
confirm that
did.
he boarded the
Checked
plane.
I think they did.
yeah.
Because for reputable news outlets to put this out as he is a survivor from,
It must have happened.
he was probably on the manifest to say this guy was on our plane, you know, and he survived. But sadly, his brother didn't make it. You know, I just wonder what it would be like being him. You know,
Survivor's guilt.
yeah. Like it's
Never
different when
get
you
on
make
a
it out the
plane
hood.
again.
You wouldn't have survivor's guilt.
He's never getting on a plane
No.
again.
Never go anywhere.
Wow.
Probably
stay
I would
in one
never
place?
get on a plane, but I wouldn't have survivor's guilt. I would just not say that there's still things I need to finish that I haven't finished. That's it.
So do you
Thank
think
God.
it was better off for this plane to land where it did, it like crash where it did, or like in the Alps somewhere as it's crossing over to Britain, where it's icy, isolated,
Yeah.
no casualties on the ground?
Nah. I think anyway you.
Because most likely you would survive that,
Yeah.
and then you'd be stuck for weeks eating.
I think anyway you put it is crazy.
Eating fingers.
It's extreme either way.
It's crazy.
Mm.
Whether on the ocean, the mountains, like it's just crazy.
There's still casualties.
What movie is that where Leonardo DiCaprio sleeps in a bear?
The Revenant.
Yeah. Because
Sleeps?
the way he slept in a bear.
What do you mean
Inside,
sleeping
Yeah,
a bear?
inside a bear.
Like,
Explain.
yeah.
Yeah.
Balance us here.
Oh, you've never seen this movie?
I know I've heard of the Revenant, but
Yeah.
I don't
Wasn't he
know that
raped by a
particular
bear?
detail.
Oh man.
Wait, isn't that the movie?
He wasn't.
He wasn't
He wasn't
raped.
molested by a bear.
Grapes are good fruits.
No, he had an encounter with a bear, but he slept inside a horse, not inside.
Yeah. Oh,
Wait,
it was a
what-
horse.
Wait, what do you mean he had an
okay.
encounter
Did
with
it
a bear?
downsize and then
He
like
killed the bear.
like in a
Yeah.
microchip?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
You ever go family with a grizzly bear?
How?
So he
Was the
he
bear
removed the inside. It was a horse that had been partially eaten.
Yeah.
So he carved out the insides
oh,
and
And then
Okay.
stayed in
because
that
it was
hole.
hella cold.
Yeah.
That's
If you
crazy.
ever find me in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear. It was quite mystical. So
I feel like if in reality if that was to happen, it will give us context with what might have led this man to survive, because adrenaline
yeah.
throws you into survival mode. So
Yeah.
especially when he had some
Fight or
factors,
flight.
fight or flight. So he obviously thought really fast
Yeah.
and did something right.
I guess, but I'm still very skeptical, honestly. Like,
What would you do?
if what?
If the plane's crashing.
Right?
Well, Lord, this is how you're gonna
You
take
mean
me
if
out.
I survived, like if I was outside on the plane? I don't know, man. I don't even want to lie and say I'll do this or that. I don't know.
Do you guys want to hear my theory on this?
Of
Yeah.
course.
No, we do, because I feel like I don't know.
Conspiracy.
So I feel like this is just in my head what happened. Huh? One of these KGB, CIA,
Real.
he was on the plane, right?
Now
they were
Americans are going to be
when
watching
they
this.
check the bodies on the manifest, they can't find this name. So
Mm.
let's replace it
Mm.
with an on who survived.
Mm. Or they found an on, decked him, then they took him to the hospital.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So
Real.
the guy who survived,
Because he
who
did go
survived-
for help, guys. Like,
Yeah,
he
to what
did go
end?
for help.
Guys, do you know how easy it is to change a manifest?
Yeah.
No, but he did
It's
call for help.
5 minutes, my friend. Database, remove this, put this. That's all.
Wow.
Guys, but
So
we,
what is it that's shocking you? Is it the survival from a plane crash? Because that's not new.
Yeah.
But
There's a history of people
people have been
surviving
surviving,
plane
yeah.
crashes.
Yeah,
There's a
the
Croatian
Croatian
guy.
guy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
This
The
story
Croatian
doesn't
guy.
make sense.
No, but listen, there's the Croatian guy.
Different
The
stuff.
Croatian guy was in Final Destination
Yeah,
for
like
real.
7
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
7
what-
deaths.
Death
Like
tried him
7
sometimes.
deaths. And then he went on to play the lottery and then he won $1 million.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's believable because we are focused on one individual, right? All these things have happened to him.
But the conspiracy theory applies to him better because if they wanted a story, they would follow
Yeah.
one
No,
individual.
but
Yeah.
if they're trying to...
This guy
Because he
landed
was
in
a
a
train.
haystack,
He was
bro.
on a
Yes,
train.
if they're
from a
trying to
plane
make
crash.
you forget.
Because the
someone,
other one, he was
they
on a
wouldn't bring him
train
back
and then the
7
train
times.
fell in water and then he broke
That's
his arm
crazy.
and then he had to
Because
swim
now we
like
know
a
about
it,
train.
became
Now
a
we
millionaire.
Google him, we check on him all the time. You think they would be like, guys, let's stop now. Let's be done.
But what's your theory on the why? Why do you think anyone would do anything like that?
Like the CIA?
Yeah.
Because they don't want their agents outed.
Yeah.
If a proper investigation was done, and I'm right, which is, it's a long shot. This is like 10% possible, or less
Yeah.
than that, you get.
Like a tenant.
I mean, they've done crazier things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like landing on the moon.
Exactly.
Enough to
Stranger
understand
things
that
have
it's
happened.
so possible.
it's so possible.
To just replace a human being is walking off a crash site.
Yeah.
But this is like a kilometer away. He's walking.
No, but guys, we've watched all the movies.
It's crazy.
let's be honest.
We've
I
watched
mean, it's not
too many
even movies. Like, I dig deep into stories like on TikTok now. It's the worst place. If you have a weak mind, leave
TikTok is the
alone.
worst
I'm telling
place.
you.
Because,
Leave it
bro, you find anything on TikTok.
Yeah, but also
There's a TikTok for every segment of the audience.
Yeah.
There's TikTok for dancers. Like their algorithm is just dance videos.
Conspiracy
There's
theories.
TikTok for comedians. Then there's also TikTok for dark comedians.
Dark humor is crazy. on
Then there's
TikTok.
TikTok
For
for
the black web.
like I saw this dark joke today and I was like, oh my gosh, this guy Anthony Jeselnik is not human. So he goes like, so I was on Craigslist looking for my ex-girlfriend's killer. I haven't found him yet. And the crowd dies.
What?
That's what's crazy about the line. Because you think he's saying the ex was killed by someone.
He didn't list himself.
Gwang, that's an even darker joke.
right?
But yeah,
That's
like,
crazy. That's so crazy.
Oh, wow.
man, don't ask me how I have dark jokes. But yeah, so it's crazy how someone could survive the magnitude of this plane crash. But also, I don't think it's a long shot from being possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's just overwhelming evidence
Yeah.
to prove that this guy was there. Apart from the manifest, right? His brother is a real brother. There's like, I think there was...
His brother is a real brother.
Yeah, his brother's a
He's
real
a real
brother.
person.
Like, ish. But then again, with AI these days,
Everything is fake news.
bro,
Yeah, and also it's not impossible for the news to be fake.
it's also not impossible for the news to be fake. Because you know what's so crazy about our focus on, oh man, I don't know if I should even say that. Basically, World War III is starting to take place. And then our focus
Is on
is
the plane crash.
on who survived the plane crash.
Yeah.
You know,
Maybe
I know-
that's why the CIA did it.
right.
Distract us.
I mean,
you guys are trying to get killed? What's going on? What's going on? Is this
I
the
was,
suicide gas? What is happening?
we're just one short of like a dead shot. Yeah. Then would be a proper suicide squad. Like if Will Smith was here,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
it's fine. Moving along. Speaking of Will Smith, has anyone listened to his album?
Yeah, Will Smith.
Lil Wayne has listened to it.
There's an album.
Wait, Will Smith
Auntie
dropped-
Will Smith has an album. He's got albums.
No, like a
Get
recent
jiggy with it.
Yeah, recently. Yeah. He dropped an album. You didn't.
You said get jiggy with it.
Oh wow. Wow.
Wait, when did this
Unless you are
album drop?
into yo-yo fan stuff.
Last week, Carter
Wow.
6.
No, not Lil Wayne's album. Will Smith's
Will
album.
Smith.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Will Smith.
Isn't Will Smith an actor?
He started out as a rapper.
Maybe tell me if he doesn't
So
get
even
it.
the new album is a rap album.
Yes, he's rapping.
Will Smith was the first rapper to get a Grammy.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he
Him
First-
and
trying-
Jazzy
what's he
Jeff.
trying to do? Still complicated.
I'd still compete with Tupac. That's
Jesus Lord.
crazy.
That's a dark joke.
Oh yes, that's a proper dark joke.
So dark.
That was so dark. Zesco.
Yeah, no, but we haven't
relate to
listened to the album, so I don't think we can speak much.
We
on
can't
it.
speak on Will Smith's album.
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'll say it right here and I'll say it right now. It's better than Lil Wayne's album.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I
No,
kind of
but
what?
Color 6 is sad.
I also kind of feel like I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You know you are free to speak. Like he keeps making gestures, and he doesn't want to say what he's gesturing.
No one will beat you, just say.
Hey, no one will beat you. Ah, sir, you are free as a bird. Yeah. So I'll say it right here. You heard it here first. Will Smith is clever. In as much as it's not like a aesthetically pleasing album, I feel like he targeted the one thing that a lot of people don't necessarily target, and that's sync. Okay, so sync is where they get your song, they put it in a movie, in an advert, in a series, and so they sync your movie, your
Placement.
music. So you get placement in motion picture basically.
Bad Boy 25.
And there's
He's a businessman.
there's a lot of good money in sync.
Yeah.
You know, so Justin Timberlake would know. But ultimately his music sounds like it should be accompanying a scene in a movie. And this, that, and the third. Yeah. Not that it's going to make your life a movie. Because some of the best music we've listened to makes us feel like we're in a movie scene. Not necessarily that music is attached to an actual movie scene. So that's the opposite of what Will Smith's music is doing.
Makes
Right.
sense.
Make sense?
Yeah.
You win some on some days. Yeah, so we are the new school aunties and uncles. The last episode that we had a young man who was here with us, and he kept reminding me that I'm old for some reason, and I don't feel old, neither do I look old. If I was to shave, I can try out for under 18. Yes, I could. I know it doesn't seem that way, but I could. So
We believe you. It's there.
Please.
The
Anything you
evidence
believe,
is.
it's
please
fine.
believe me.
There's
Please
enormous
believe
amount of evidence.
But anyway, what I really wanted us to talk about is adulting. Do you feel like adulting is a scam? Were we properly prepared coming up? And are we in a place where now we can sort of understand our parents or the people who came before us?
Yeah, no, I'm not an auntie. Sorry. Sorry.
Just
You,
do
No
had-
one calls
you
you auntie.
lost me at old.
At
Okay.
old.
Like, miss me with that.
No one calls you auntie.
Like aunties to my nieces. Yeah. Not like random people in the street calling me auntie.
Auntie.
Hey, excuse me. I'm a
You
young
got
girl.
tomato.
Went from a sister to
Dimaj.
mommy.
Hey.
I mean, you introduced me as Uncle Musa. I'm still insulted. Like everybody else got their first name, but I'm the uncle.
Right?
You know,
Oh man.
like so. There's something you must have seen. You
That's
know?
giving uncle.
That's giving uncle.
You know,
You are you sure you don't exude uncle vibes?
I exude uncle vibes.
You don't?
I do.
I mean,
No,
the jacket without the sleeves.
Maybe it's a specs.
It's the specs.
Yeah.
I wear specs too. They're just broken. But
Yeah, no helping. They don't help with the situation.
Just you to get that jacket.
But I feel like speaking on the other
That's not
side
talent.
of like being aunties and uncles, including myself,
as an auntie.
adulting is like every day. like no days off. Like every day you have to be an adult. Every day you have to think about bills. You have to think about how you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, what you're going to wear. Nobody prepares you for that. Like ever.
That is true. And you know why? Because nobody's ever ready for anything. And even our parents, they don't know what they're doing half the time. They're just going with the flow, with the times, with what's trendy. And so at the time that they are now handing over to you, you are also starting your own journey of like self-discovery. First of all, you need to like unshackle yourself from the trauma and
On top
you
of
know,
getting to know yourself,
everything.
fighting for your life.
Yeah.
And then you're also in a place where if you have a child or you are in a community where you're the auntie or the uncle, they depend on you for knowledge and expecting that you're an experienced individual. But I'm knee deep in my 30s and I feel like I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Like you just don't know. Like every day you take it and you win some, you lose some, and it keeps going.
Because every day is like a new experience. Every day
Yeah.
is a new something. You knew something, but then every day I met with something that you absolutely have no idea about.
I think if we had longer lives, maybe our parents or the older generations would have had packaged the life knowledge well enough for it to be usable to the next generation. And
But with the generations constantly
Yeah,
changing,
it's
new things are
still
happening.
changing.
How do you now like make what worked for them work for us
It's
today?
hard
You
because
can't
I was literally telling
Yeah.
my mom, like,
Thank
had
you, Destro,
your first child in your 20s.
for the English.
Why?
yeah,
And I'll be there thinking, I'm saying, like right now, my age, I'm still in my 20s, and then what am I doing with the child?
you have no idea where to start.
Raising the child.
But do you think our generation of millennials, do we see life from a traditional point of view? Like work-life balance, family.
And
How
what
we hang
constitutes traditional?
You know how it used to be back in the day? Your dad had his own set of friends, so did your mom, and then
Go for
then
work.
they would go for work.
Yeah.
Then you go for holiday. Like there used to be something in the 90s and early 2000s that constituted the culture of how we were raised and how we used to live.
Yeah.
But then now we're starting our own, but then it's so defragmented because there's the people who feel they're more exposed, they understand mental health and society and the law and things like that,
Yeah.
and they're trying to propel it on their kids. And what I'm learning also is that the kids are learning in backwards, meaning the things you should have learned, I learned at 25.
They're
13-year-old
learning at
already
13.
understands,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, right? The birds and the bees conversation. So we are familiar with that term, right? Birds and the bees.
Yeah.
Like where your parents have to tell you, no, this is how you relate
About
with.
sex.
Did you have that talk with your dad?
Unfortunately, my dad died when I was 2. So I had that chat with my mom. It was very murky waters to
Like no one
navigate.
had that chat with me actually.
For real? How'd that go for you?
Yeah, that's a story for another day.
We got
No, but honestly,
today's when
like-
we want to talk about adulting.
Like no
Not
one
that dumb,
gave
that
me a
really
heads
dumb.
up. No one said like this or whatever. So basically everything you learn is from the people around you, from your friends, from
That's
social
cool.
media.
Yeah, that's
Then you
how
have your
it goes.
friends who would make it look like, dude, you haven't done this yet. Oh my god, like you're
The
such
pressure.
a kid. And you're like, what? Me?
And that's why you need to hide your ears.
Exactly. And then you also have like yeah, then you have people who would also be like, no, it's too soon, you're judging you.
Yeah.
So you sort of have to like learn, like you know how like you lie on your job application, right? Then you learn on the job.
Yeah.
That was basically it.
I
Like
may first learn.
I work under minimal supervision.
I'm
real,
good under pressure.
real. But I think it's always just like such a necessary conversation
Yeah.
because like you can decide to be your children's teacher as the parents, right?
Yeah.
Or you can let the world teach them, and that one's like so much worse.
If you got remote parents, they'll be raised by the TV. That was crazy.
And now there's AI to raise these kids.
Yeah.
And
There
that's
is.
a worse conversation. I was listening to this guy, I've forgotten his name, but his concepts are very interesting. So he's talking about how I think his angle was mainly on masculinity and how men have a way of exuding their masculinity.
Of course.
Because when we're growing up, the guy who sleeps around a lot is the cool kid,
Yeah, it's the bad guy.
is the bad guy.
Big
yes.
man thing.
That's the own.
When you grow up and now you're working and the guy who was the beautiful girlfriend and things like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
in that particular angle, that's how you would, see a high value man and things like that. It's like our own evolved rite of passage as a man. But
you
now
need to have the trophy girl.
Yes.
Good job. And
Yeah, but men still believe that sleeping with a lot of women is like,
It's like an ego thing.
yeah, I promise you, like this is
Toxic
2025.
masculinity.
2025.
I mean,
You know, I don't think masculinity toxic. Masculinity is masculinity.
Yeah.
Humanity, on
Is
the other
toxic.
hand, can be toxic.
Yeah.
So the propensity for toxicity is on all ends. Because I've never heard femininity being termed as toxic feminism or toxic feminism.
but there
It
is
is
toxic
coined as
femininity.
that.
But there are women who are toxic, right?
Yeah.
There are also men who are toxic.
Yes, but I feel like sometimes why are you put in this box like, oh, I'm so masculine or whatever? You get what I mean? Like you walk into a room and you're saying like, I'm the man. Like you don't need to tell us
I'm the
you're the
man, I'm
man.
the man,
If you
I'm the
are the
man.
man, like just you don't even have to speak. You know what I mean? You can walk into a room and you'll be like,
The image.
you get what I mean?
Energy.
Just how you carry
Yeah.
yourself, how you speak. But then you're there. You want that chica there. Shit, you have a hit list
Yeah.
like
I-
10
I-
girls, and you're
But
there
even
bragging.
women are
I think
Because
you're
now,
talking
like
about short
every
guys.
party you show up to, you have to talk
It's
about.
not only short guys. I can't mention names, but it's not only short
I think you're
guys.
talking about short guys. They're the ones who overcompensate,
Oh my
Napoleon
God! First of
complex.
all,
And I mean that with love.
Shots fired.
what you mean? You mean that with who? Love
mean,
with who?
Towards the short niggas, I
They've
mean, they
already
really
caught. They've
try
already
their
caught
best.
the stray bullet. But
How you
like,
feel,
what
bro?
you
How
mean?
you feel? You really had to stand up.
But the point I wanted to make about AI messing up everything is that usually the kids would learn from their older brothers, their fathers, their uncles, on their relationship with women, regardless of who they are. But now they are now creating these AI bots whereby an AI can have a sexual conversation with your 12-year-old son, and you might never know. And he makes these prompts of what to say, what to do, and then we'll get to a point where these systems will be physiological, meaning I'll have a bot here sitting next to me and commanding it. And because I don't expect it to respond with humanity, meaning I'm your master, you are a machine, so you have no feelings. So I'm not breaking any laws or hurting your feelings. So you can imagine the level of dark sexual fantasies that are being achieved through that.
You've been to
And you're
Cambodia?
15.
Okay, it's fine.
Yes, and you're
Daddy.
15.
The freak.
So you learn, you practice how to interact with women. Yes.
Mini ditties.
Mini
Wow,
ditties,
that's
yeah.
crazy.
So
That's crazy.
That took a turn.
Take
you
that.
learn how to interact with these things at a very young age from that point of view.
Yeah.
So now you have to interact with real women, and then you realize that they've got standards, they have rights.
I think,
And
you know what I
those
think,
things.
you know what I
Said they
think,
are right.
And it's such a culture shock for this now 18-year-old person who's been having sex with an AI for the last 5 years.
listen, it's not just people who have, it's not just people who have sex with AI, right? It's niggas who watch porn. You think what I'm saying? Because porn ain't
Guess
real.
what about us? Since nobody wants to stand up for the real nigga. Let's take this part to the next.
It's a one-body problem.
Depends on what, So,
No, that's wild.
What about us?
okay, so let me put it this way. Chronic masturbators have a cognitive dissonance when it comes to women they fantasize, which is women they watch fetishly, and women they interact with in
Every
real
day,
life,
Yeah.
right? Because you go with the expectation of what you saw with a real person, and then you realize the real person doesn't even function like that.
You didn't.
So now it's
I mean, you took us there. Let's go.
Nah, well.
Let's go.
He said, nah.
right now things that you watched a caricature of a person get so easily, you realize, oh snap, there's consent in real time, right?
Big problem.
Why are you laughing? Anyway, oh, I've laughed too much. So outside of like, things like consent in real time, there is performance in real time. And it jars people. That's why I said people who, right? It's not just relegated to guys. There are also women who are out there.
Yeah, I was shocked to find that women watch porn also.
They watch porn more
I
than
thought
men.
only men watch porn. Women actually sit down and watch pornography.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Sit down.
Women consume more porn than men globally.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's also because there's more women, but that's just the stat.
Right.
Because I thought the visual beings were us men and not women. So why would you find
The women are visual as well.
and they can be, really sadistic.
Okay.
Like how because I feel like there's this theory I have which I call the pedestal culture, right? A long-standing tradition that we've had as we've grown up is that women have been more or less deified to an extent because they bear children. So the level of innocence that you attach to a woman is deity-like. You dig what I'm saying? Like it bothered me when I think I was like 12 or 13 when a lady walked out the bathroom and she walked out trying to see if anybody is there, and then she noticed that I was about to go in and I needed to go, and then I go in there and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe what I just saw. I never believed in my whole life that ladies could do a number two. You dig what? It was a shocking discovery for me. So, but to my point, right? to my point, right?
Jesus.
Like even simple things like farting, like it takes
Musa,
a
you're
level of
indulging him
comfortability.
too much. What do you mean?
Takes a level of comfortability. You dig what I'm saying?
True.
Where now the lady will be like, "Do?" And then you're like, what?
I know.
You're
No, like how did we get here? I really want to know.
Okay,
like, how
let's
did we get
we are very
talking about
divergent. So
AI.
let's go back. Aunties and uncles.
Please.
Hey, back
Hey.
to basically what I'm saying is because of that.
No,
right,
we said
that-
why it's
like,
adulting
finish-
hard, guys. What are we doing?
No, we're still adulting. We're just wondering why people are not honest.
No, it's not relevant. It's not relevant.
Yeah, it's very relevant. It's very relevant.
So
Very.
I wanted to ask a question.
Yes.
Now that you've crossed over to now the adults, and by this I mean you are anything above 28, you are now a fully grown human being, you're an adult now. What do you think is your biggest
Pet peeve.
cultural shock? It could be a pet peeve, but you never imagine to see it. For example, I used to imagine, especially uncles and aunties who would be sitting where I am today at my age, to be very advanced in terms of experience and knowledge and capability, and they just had it all.
Yeah.
But then when you grow up, then you start to interact with these people. They're older, maybe now they're twice my age, and you just understand that half of them are deadbeats. And whenever they come up with an idea of how we should solve a problem, you're like, are you being serious, old man? Like, you realize that some of these
not all
people
that.
are not as smart as we envisage. I think it aligns with what you're saying, that we've put women on a pedestal that, they can't even, blow out a fart.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Like, what is your biggest aha moment? Like, this is
When
area of you.
okay, for me, it's when I realized it's who has the money and not really who is the oldest. Especially when it came to funerals,
Yeah.
right? I got into I'm not saying I have money, but I got into a position where I had the final say on something
Because you
when we
had
had
money.
when we had a family funeral, right? And there were people who were older than me who I was looking to, who were doing this to me, and I'm like, no, you can't. You are the adults here.
That's true.
You dig? And they told me something so profound, and it's only in that moment because money is on the line.
Chimona.
I think for me, my biggest cultural shock was like realizing that age doesn't necessarily negate maturity.
True.
Like, I used to think that when you're 30, right? Like, you're an adult, you're serious, you know, like, you don't mess
Still crying over
around,
heartbreaks.
you know what I mean? Like, life is just, you know what I mean? But now I'm like, bruh,
Still crying over heartbreaks.
we're all just figuring shit.
Being ghosted at 35.
I agree with that one.
Right?
What are you doing?
No,
By a 22-year-old. Wow.
no, bro, because I sit there and I think, I'm like, what? You know, because at 30, like, you have a house, you have
Yes.
children,
Hey,
like,
life
your
begins
life
at
is
30.
just
Guys, life
making
was
sense.
cheaper back then.
I'm not even talking about that, like, not even about, like, the financial part of it all, but I just mean, like, your mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to think 30.
30.
30. But now I'm just like, maybe 5 more years. Let's try again.
No, this is why they say life begins at 40. 40. I'm still in the game. I'm still in the game.
4 years too.
I mean, it's half time. It's
I
half time.
actually agree with her because, if my family is watching this, it's fine. But we had like a family meeting, and then, like last weekend, literally, like we were all there, and then my mom, I call her my mom's older sister. She's also my mom. It's like, no, like during the meeting, you guys don't talk. If you want to talk, you tell your uncle, like you whisper to him. Nah. No, guys, what do you mean? No. Because like one of my cousins like fucked up, like it's not a story for the camera, but ooh.
But, so,
Yeah, and then we were all there, and then they're like, no, if you want to say something, you tell to your uncle. No, I just said,
Speak through the chat.
no, I just raised my hand. I thought I've got a few things to say. And I said what I had to say, and then the other people who are there, they lack conceptualization. Like, you know, where people, you give like 5 sentences, and then they'll pick this, they'll pick that, and then they'll put it together. I said, no, guys, I'm out. Like, I left. I said, no, you people have no ears, I'm out.
and
Yeah, and also
And the
like
older
you realize
people,
that
yeah.
like,
yeah.
even just our
Yeah.
parents and like most like adults, right?
Yeah.
Had selective like
Amnesia.
hearing. No,
Yes.
like
No.
you would be
No,
communicating
selective
something
hearing.
and
Yeah,
they will hear the most
communicating
offensive parts
something.
of the
I agree.
conversation.
I agree.
Yeah.
You
Nitpicking.
disrespected
I
me.
agree.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Like the context, mommy, it's coming from somewhere.
And then like, no, it's a Takambakuti-chani. Like, you know, like,
But
no,
for them,
guys,
it's
the
who's
point
talking?
here is this.
Do they
And like,
have
I'm
money?
trying to say, guys, like, me, I've been in therapy. I know what I'm talking about. Don't think like I'm mad. No, but we've lived longer. I just said, no, you know what, I'm
That's-
out. Like, I
that's
left.
also-
I packed my bags and I left.
That's
I said,
actually-
If
I'm
you
not-
found yourself in a situation where, like, for real, you're the younger generation, you know more. But you
Yes.
found yourself in a situation where the older generation
Yes.
comes to your rescue. Because, like, you have performed so
Yes.
badly and they're even moving slowly.
But then in that situation-
So, like, have you found yourself quite, like, focus on you now? Like,
Not
okay, you know everything, but how you fucked up
Not
is bad.
necessarily, but yeah, like, cause my cousin fucked up like bad, like, cause I,
What did she do? Tell us.
say he,
What did he do?
off the camera, just in case, but off the camera I will.
And it
Yeah.
was the adults who are, like, sorting out the situation.
Yeah, the first set of adults, they fucked up more from the fuck up. So like now, like yes, like the fuck up exists, and then the other ones they come, they mess shit up. Yes, and
Iran counter attack.
It was
And then
3D of
at least my uncle, he
mess-ups.
grasps, he conceptualized things. So he just said, no. Me, I wasn't part of that first meeting, so it will be void. We'll start afresh.
I think
Call these guys, like me, my sisters, everybody else, call us. So my mom couldn't be there, but then technically she was part of the first fuck up. So she couldn't be in the second one. Yeah, in the second meeting, like, you know where you know that you fucked up, and then everyone who fucked up in the first meeting couldn't be there because they knew that you fucked up. Yes, like we're not coming. Yes, and then they didn't come. They didn't show up. Everybody just said, "No, me, I'm going to church. No, me, I'm doing this. No, at the kitchen party." Like, you get it?
Yeah.
It's so entertaining, but like,
Oh man.
yeah, and then like now we're trying to rectify the issue. And then the other people who are part of the fuck ups are just like, no, but wajamana kamba so. Ivo mkamba if panga said tinapanga kuda decision. But then you're trying to make them say that decision that you made is a bad decision. Like look at things from this angle. No, but tinankala kuda wa tinkala food. You know? And then I was like, are you being for real?
I relate with what you're saying.
Yeah,
Real.
Everything you need to call your family members.
Yes.
It sounds like something you need to say to them.
But she's a
And
point.
you
All
speak it the
people do
whole
not
week.
listen.
Yes, they're like, no, tinankala kuda wa tinkala food. Like, do you see that you guys didn't make sense in the decision that you guys made? That's why we're here again.
Exactly. Yeah.
And trying to like,
Sort it out.
no, tinakamba kudala. Let's go with the first thing.
Let's
And
proceed.
Abakulu baliranda.
Ataba kumukulu tapusaka we. Tapusakewo. Yeah, like and
Tapusaka
no,
we,
if you're older, no matter what, when I say something I don't doubt, I know what I'm talking about. But if you ask me to aim at a playful game, I'll make a mistake. I feel like those are some of the traditions and conditioning that we need to unshackle ourselves from. Because in as much as older people would create like the schematics of our culture, our belief system and everything, they were also misguided by some people who I would consider dumber than they were.
You see, this is what she was saying. Passport the face.
Because are you telling me that there is no way that me, I am in a position to know more or even better just simply because I'm younger than you? Jesus Christ went ahead and, said a lot of things at 12-year-olds to people, 12 years old to older people. That could have been a very good point to
Seasoned
fall back
teachers.
on. Yeah. But now, if we are dealing with serious issues and there's no older person, it's a big problem. We're not saying that we need to do away with the old people. That's not what I'm saying.
Of course not.
There should
Because
just be a
we are
balance
the new
because they
adults
also
now.
do have like valuable.
We're the ones who are
insights.
going to be saying
need
what
to
they say.
And we need to refine
You're
it
about
with
to
the
enter
times.
that group soon, by the way.
But we don't even go to church. That's the problem because
Speak for yourself.
you guys go to church?
Yes. What do you mean?
Very concerned.
You guys go to church? What was the last church you went to?
How'd you get through your hangovers? Sunday morning.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wow.
let's not go into that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will go into the 4 hours that Marv always talks about.
Yeah. But adulting I think it's a very, it's free flowing. We like to pretend and think as though there's a book like a Bible that we read to guide us through generations and experience. It's not really true.
Is it? You said we won't hone in. We might just.
I'm telling you, like, right now, the way we are leading ourselves and the younger people, like our nephews,
generally. Okay.
Generally speaking, I think we are more defiant, so to speak.
Yeah.
We're not going to waste time on following what is called intambi and I don't even know half those things. So
From a traditional standpoint, or also from the
Gen Z is defiant.
yeah, I mean, we can be the balancing factor, but the next generation forget about.
No, guys, feel shy. We even
going to
like at some
they
point we
were
even have
generated
like
via AI.
Generated by AI. Like, who wants to go there to dance in dust?
I can't believe you said that on cam. Can't believe you said that on cam, bro.
Please cut that out. You cancelled.
Those people don't even have YouTube.
Yeah, whoa.
No, those people.
That I'll have to.
Those people.
right?
Jesus Lord.
No, but like
Man.
I feel like adulting is like one step at a time, honestly. Sometimes I like to overthink things, right? And then when you're overthinking, you even lead yourself into depression and you're depressed and you can't do anything because you're so busy being sad that you can't see
That's true.
anything good,
That's why
right?
your parents couldn't play with you when they came home from work.
Exactly.
Like 24/7 is thinking about how am I going to feed these people?
Yeah.
Like his life is just a constant grind. You know?
Exactly.
My friends whose parents used to smoke.
And that's why I feel like sometimes you can,
Better parents.
and now that we're like at
Because
this
you know,
age,
if you had to mention the
right?
names.
We can give our parents grace. Like they were also
That's
Figuring
my
it
point.
out.
figuring it out. And we are also figuring it out, which is
Yeah.
why it's also important to give ourselves grace.
Mhm.
Because then when we get to a point where like you're looking at your fellow maybe 28-year-old and they're in this position, right? Bought a house, car, whatnot, and then you think all of a sudden, oh, I'm slacking or I'm lacking behind or whatever. You don't know. Like, our lives are so different, right? We're all like gunning for the same things. We want financial independence, the family, the love, everything, right? But we don't all get the same opportunities.
True.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't mean there's no opportunities for us. They just look different.
Yeah.
And if life
But
was-
if we spend so much time focusing on
Just
that person's
make
opportunities,
sure
they look like that, and
Yeah.
I want that,
Yeah.
and then now you almost now start to curate your life to look like that other person's life, is why we're all sudden depressed.
Yeah,
guys.
just make sure nobody's crapping on you for opportunities.
I mean, if life was a competition, people would have been dying in the first week of their birth.
Oof.
Because death is the final thing that you do.
Yeah.
So if you're really in a hurry, you might as well just die the same day you were born.
That's
But it's your own personal experience. Whatever you do between birthday and death day, it's entirely up to you and how you.
And we're
go
so
about it.
unique. Each one is like gifted with something that's totally different from the next person.
exactly yeah.
Right? There's people who are just so like, when it comes to like education, right? I'll say like math, and they
Science.
bruh,
They're geniuses.
like that. They're
When
geniuses,
done.
right? And there are people who are so creative, right?
It's
So
a
now
makeup
imagine, and that's why I always believe like this education system is a scam, to be honest. So you bring this person who's like, say, look at me, pointing at him. Who's like, let's say, mathematically inclined, right? And this guy who is so good with words, this is someone who's going to write one of the greatest books.
Amen.
And then you put them in the same room
Yeah.
and you teach them the exact same things and you expect them to flourish the exact same way. Right?
It's impossible.
Yeah, it's not.
It's impossible.
It's in fact.
And
not
then
okay.
now we are pitted against each other because there's this notion of what success should look like.
Yeah. Like if you
Right?
didn't go to particular schools, then your life is a waste. If you didn't have particular things happen to you at those particular schools.
I saw a meme that said, oh, where's that guy that used to pass number one in class, bruh? And he was like on the streets, drunk, bruh. You know what I mean? But that just shows, and it's just an example to show that, like, look, being the best at this one thing doesn't mean I'm not the best at this other thing.
Exactly.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like if we look at life
Man, that's so true. The meme. I just thought about it.
like that,
I remember some people.
You thought about something.
Yeah.
Some people.
the name just
Some people. I was just like, anyway.
When you think about adulting,
Yeah.
again, the one thing that could be a cultural shock is the fact that back in the day, aunties and uncles used to have a good time. Like, excuse me.
In
the
fact,
90s,
you
80s,
would prefer
80s.
to be with your aunt and uncle
Yeah.
over being with your parents because your aunt and uncle
They gave you
or
more
your
freedom.
grandparents, yes.
Yeah. And I think them showing you love was easier because I don't really have to be like the disciplinarian or something like
Exactly,
that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't have to provide for you.
Yeah, I mean, I can just show you a good time and that's it.
Yeah.
But then
Uncle Rich
And take
Rich.
you back
But-
to your parents.
Yeah. I'm feeding you, you must talk to
Like,
me.
oh, I have you for 4 hours. Cool. How can I knock you out? All right.
and that's it.
Candy, games, Disneyland.
I have an uncle who was arrested in Botswana. You know that one uncle? Yeah.
No, we all have that one now.
The black sheep of
Yeah.
uncles.
So he disappeared. We only used to, but then by the time we were now like coming to like maybe 8, 9, 10 around that time, that's when he was coming back. And he came back on my aunt's wedding anniversary.
Oh, nice.
So because back in the day, this was like deep in the 90s. So there was no phone calls, no preparation. It was an actual, real, authentic surprise. Like, oh, you're back home. And so when he came back, now we're starting to learn him. Like, oh, this is our uncle and whatever. He just couldn't speak. He had lost his ability to speak.
No way.
So his love language was spending time with his nephews and nieces. And I was one of them. But because he was in jail for such a long time, he bought me an orange. And he told me to peel it off and get it ready to eat. But then I was peeling off the the peels and throwing them on the floor, and it like irritated him. You need to eat the peels. Like, don't throw anything. You need to eat the orange to its entirety. The only thing you spit out is the seeds. I was like,
That's us.
But
No, there was a lesson there.
Actually.
No, keep going. There's a lesson in there.
There's a lesson in there. So he showed me that you will be in situations whereby there'll be so much scarcity that you really have to work with what you have and optimize.
Yeah.
In fact, you shouldn't develop your life and make it better. You should optimize it. So whatever is there, just shine it and polish it and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So
Nefipapa kulia.
Nefpapa kulia. So with that, the one thing that I feel we should definitely be focusing and learning and passing on to the next generation is that song that we keep singing of like you need to care about yourself and actually love yourself and things like that, and most importantly respect for yourself should be like at the top.
Yeah.
So that experience from Uncle Martin was like whatever it is that
Shout
you
out
do.
Uncle Martin.
Oh, I mentioned him. You need to work with what you have. You need to polish what you have and make use of what you have, and don't throw away anything, because while I saw the pills as unnecessary, it's waste.
Yeah.
For him, it's
Like,
nutrition.
no, I need to get to
and all
the
of those
sweet
things.
part.
Yeah. And I just feel like I'm also looking for an opportunity to have like a profound moment and teach like one of my nephews or nieces or something like that. Like it's very profound.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
That's nice.
Nice. Do you have nephews and nieces right now?
Yeah. A little bit.
You could. You could.
One of
just-
them is named after me.
Hey, there you go. There you go. When you see him, do you call him Junior?
No.
Okay, because that will start a fight. So.
Wait.
So the conclusion on adulting is that optimize.
There's always
Work
something
with
to
what
be
you have.
grateful for.
Yeah.
There's always something to be grateful for.
And don't compare to other people.
And that's the key
Don't
one.
compare yourself
That's
to
the
people
key
who are
one.
privileged,
Yeah.
who had a strong support system.
Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah. There's also a weird comparison that people do, which I call the struggle Olympics, where you don't know what I had to do to get here. You don't know what I had to do to get here.
Sound like
You know, us we
Tyler
were-
Perry.
You're even mad at people for
You know, I had to clutch at straws.
like
to
even
get-
those who had good opportunities, like you're
Yes.
mad at them.
Yeah, like why does it have to be? Why does success from an African point of view have to be roped in struggle?
Exactly. You,
So because I
your
did
your
struggle,
parents
I'm
can't
worthy.
give you a small loan of $1 million. No. What they would rather give you is harsh lessons.
Harsh
One,
lessons.
they'll tell you money don't grow on trees.
When it should, you know.
I mean, paper comes from trees, so yeah.
But apparently there's that thing where, like, especially in America, where there's a lot of young people back in the day that black people, there's this stereotype that black kids are, you know, degenerates and things
Exactly. Yeah.
like that. So now, and they don't go to school and finish. But when you compare to the white kids, it's a whole different situation. So you find like two mothers will be at a PTA meeting, and one of them, the white mom will be talking about how Connor, for example, is doing exceptionally well.
Oh my god.
Where
He's doing exceptionally well. He won this award. He won this award. He's going to Yale.
He's a straight A student.
Yes. And then, you know, Tariq's mom,
The name.
Had to be Tariq.
Tariq just came out as third.
Connor's mom, is looking at Tariq's mom and saying, oh, but Tariq is like also
Tariq
amazing.
just got initiated. He Paru.
He's smart as well. They just, that boy, I don't even know what to do with him. He's a degenerate, he doesn't listen, he doesn't. But the mom is very proud of Tariq, and Tariq is an excellent student. But there's this generational, you know, trauma that is being transmitted, whereby they need to, if Musa says Tariq is looking strong, you know, this boy is ready to be sold to the next farm for $1,000. So the moms will be like, dude, no, he's a sickler, he's dumb, he can't do this, to discredit their own children so that the master can see them as lesser value. So they'll help them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that became a survival technique that transcended generations to the point where, even though Tariq's mom is so proud, she feels as though he's not doing enough.
I knew my dad was tripping. I knew. I knew it. I knew something was up.
Yeah. Well, now you can relieve yourself from that.
Yeah, definitely. He did, but you know.
Wow. That took a dark turn. But I wanted to just comment on the farm fields. You know, those farm fields look different now. You know, we call them NFL and NBA, but Yeah.
Now they have people from the
Yeah.
Dutch people now working on farms, but apparently they don't even know how to do farming.
Bro. Because the biggest discrepancy that I've seen in those farm fields is that when these black people have toiled the soil for so long, a good majority of them leave with nothing.
Yeah.
They leave with nothing from the soil. But their counterparts, without trying to sound racist, go on to become multimillionaires.
Yep.
It's quite sad. It's quite sad. Speaking of multimillionaires, recently a Nigerian man died, and his case was taken to court because the case in question is that he had a side chick who he had 3 kids with outside of his main marriage. But apparently he had a traditional wedding done for the side chick. So she went to court when they tried to like block her out from his estates. And she won the case. They were like, yo, she has every legal right.
Okay, good question.
Now we're not saying go out there and be a side chick.
A bag is a bag.
What?
Auntie said
The
it.
bag is a bag.
Listen to Auntie.
Oh my gosh.
When
Yes,
you
what
say
do
she
you want to
won
say?
the case, does that mean she gets to share the money with the other widow? Or does that mean that she gets all the money?
I think
Yeah.
it's shared. It's shared. They're sharing the estates.
Because when you're trying to be blocked from
Mhm.
inheritance. And
Okay, so they're just
Especially-
included. It's not like the other woman has been discarded.
No.
Okay.
That would have been a crazy plot twist, though.
But why do you think she won? Like, what's the basis? Because of the children?
No.
They had
This
a
is a
traditional
Zambian.
That
This
is
is a
traditional
Zambian
wedding.
case. Yeah. So according to Zambian law, there is leeway for what they call customary law. Under
Yeah.
customary law, she's his wife because they did the traditional rites.
Yeah.
For her to be married to him.
But you know that she could have still won even without the customary marriage. If
Really?
she had his children and stayed with him, she would have been his dependent. So as a
I don't
dependent,
think they live together. though.
yeah, so
Yeah.
she would have gotten something. I just don't know.
Yeah, there is a percentage
Yeah,
of
but now
according to
she's getting
dependence.
some.
Yeah,
She's getting everything.
She's getting something.
she's getting some real good.
And now she's just validating the side chicks, don't you think so? Was
That-
politically-
that-
Okay,
That's why I
okay,
had to
I have a
caveat.
question. Was
What's your question?
was she really a side chick?
Yes.
No, he
According
married. He
to-
had a traditional wedding with her. That was his
She's-
second wife. What do you mean side
she's-
chick? Do you know what a
she's
side
the
chick is?
No,
She's
but
the
look,
side woman.
she never lived with him ever.
Exactly.
From 1975.
From
He lived with his main wife.
When 1975, I'm
Yes,
getting
yeah.
something. What do you mean?
So wait, she
No,
knew
no,
that
the
the
wife
You've
has
been a
known
side
him.
chick
For 50 years.
Not a
No,
bag
no,
is
no,
a
no,
bag.
no,
You need to
no,
go
Nigerians,
The
back.
wife
bag
has
is
lived
a
with
bag.
him since 1970.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
So the side chick is
Yes.
young.
These are big
Yes, the
people.
side chick is younger, and the wife did not know anything
Until
until
the
the
death.
court case.
Yeah.
No, but that man was
How old are these
sneaky.
people? Do we have the ages
1975?
of these people?
No, one.
Then
If they were
40s,
married.
50s.
The 60s even.
60s even, yeah.
What do you mean they're in their 40s in 1975?
That was like
together?
45, 50.
Not
they're
born.
60s.
They were not born in 1975.
60s.
They were living together in
They're
1975.
60s, 70s. 60s, 70s.
The older generation.
Wait,
They would
and,
go stands like this.
and she didn't know anything.
Bro, you know how many funerals I've attended where they tell you so that's his third family.
I went to a funeral and they asked me, are you also one of the the children who are showing up? Like, no. Because the guy didn't understand why I was there.
No, because they really be showing up at the funeral.
No, why you gonna show
No,
up
but
now?
also, like, that's crazy. That's
Hella
so
crazy.
crazy.
It's mad.
That's so crazy. Like, she didn't know. She didn't know. She didn't want to know.
Man, I don't think you.
She
can-
didn't want
I don't
to know.
think.
No.
I don't think a woman can be the spare tire in a relationship and the other woman doesn't know for like how long?
She
has
didn't
it
That's
been?
want
my
to
point.
know.
That's my
Yeah,
point.
I think it just
That's my
became
point.
like, alright,
And even
man,
as a woman, guys,
keep your little side chick
Cause
quiet.
yes,
With
yes,
a man.
just don't make it my business, right?
She's
Right?
got
No, you
kids
know.
with the side, right?
Yeah,
Not
he got
with the
kids. No, he has kids with his main wife
and with the side.
and with the side wife.
Well, even the main wife.
Oh my God, that's a polygamous relationship.
No, but he did tell the
Those
wife.
guys are in
So it's not
a-
polygamy. Polygamy, the wife has to know.
No, even I'm saying.
She was the side chick.
Yes, but what we're saying is
Yeah.
there's no way she had no idea.
Yeah.
She knew.
What if she had no idea?
Ah.
Okay, let's go with the assumption that she was zero idea.
Just chose not
See,
to.
Children.
You know,
Ah.
no, the thing with a man, you know, 1 minute she doesn't drink water, next she drinks water. Like, yeah, like
No,
Who
but for
taught
real.
him?
Yes,
No, but for
Who
real.
taught him to
I'll
drink
be honest,
water?
drink
like,
water.
there's
Yes,
little
like you can pick off their habits.
Exactly.
Men are habitual
there's
beings.
little
You
things
pick off.
No
that
one
you
says.
might change.
She doesn't drink water. and then
Yes, that
she
you might change without realizing it. All of a sudden, like, first of all, we meet, we're in this relationship, you don't care about
Oh, wait.
what you look like. All of a sudden, yes, someone, smell perfume, what, excuse me.
What's going on?
Exactly.
Tawale fuala we know, then all of a sudden
You're dressing up and
Yeah.
you're smelling. You're even brushing your
Yeah.
teeth.
You know what I mean? This is a dispute between two of them. I think she has always known about this.
No,
Yeah.
she
young
knew. She
woman.
just chose
She
not
just
to.
When they
didn't
did,
want
now
to
it's
share.
like, nah, you're not getting nothing.
Exactly.
She always
Hence the
knew.
court dispute.
Okay, but put yourself in the
Wife's shoes.
the wife's shoes
Uh.
and speak as women. Like
Yeah.
what outcome would you want?
Like
in a
not
situation
share.
like this,
Like not share.
like not share at all.
Okay, honestly, for me, I would share.
You
There's
would
children involved.
There's kids.
There's
There's
children
kids involved, so
right?
that'll.
She's not like some university
Women
student
have
from
got
Unilas
hearts. They've got this thing.
coming to ask
What?
for
How you have ever met a
Why
woman with
not
a
a
bad
trap?
heart?
I grab Unilas though.
Thinking of sharing.
Hearts is
She's not thinking of sharing.
We're going all the way up to the end. Let's go.
What did Unilas do to
Yeah,
you?
let's take it up to the last.
I'm very afraid of you.
Yeah, like we're going.
But
No, I genuinely
But-
believe. Obviously, I wouldn't be happy about it,
Of course
right?
not.
But this estate is,
Yeah.
it's not mine.
Mm.
It's that man's estate, right? And there's children involved. Like I would not be happy about it, and I'm not going to say, "Oh, I'll be so happy sharing the money." No, but this man created life. These children don't know nothing. It's not their business
True.
what beef we have, and I don't have to like their mother,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But because there's children, we can't.
But
share.
these are the same things that when we were growing up, they would tell you those cousins of yours don't hang with those.
That type situation.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have to be
In-
buddy, but like we
Inheriting
will
your
share the
parents'
money.
Offense.
enemies.
But also, I think there is because it's a court case, right? And that the woman didn't know until the court case. I think it's a matter of what they call negligence, because you kind of get a footing to try and sway the judge's decision when you claim negligence or you claim
When she said
ignorance.
I didn't know.
Yeah, like I didn't know about this
Yeah,
woman. She
because
just
she
showed
knew.
because then you paint the woman as someone who's leeching.
She knew.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
where is this person come from?
She probably even used to
After
tell him,
all
so
this
you're
time.
back from your other woman.
Mm-hmm. Must say thing you want to say.
Hey.
Hide your side chicks better, guys.
Niggas
You
can't
can't-
do that.
Like just
Come
you
forward
said,
with
guys, just don't do
It's,
like that's what you
it's either if you can, as a man, hide the side chick well, it's either you are CIA or you are a master manipulator.
Because also the side chick want to be known at some point.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's that one.
Women are
good ones,
possessive.
But like
To tell you that.
men,
You women
you
are
catch
crazy.
on.
She'll sit down with you and say, yes, I'll do all that. The day you cross her, I'm even calling your wife. Are you mad?
Gong, gong.
That's why
Pay
they say-
attention to his behavior. If he's drinking water, just
No,
know
yeah,
something
just
is
it.
up.
Just you see that.
Ati mabwana breti
No,
vili
you-
mozi wewe ni akana.
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like I really pay attention to detail a lot. Like a lot.
Do you think that's a
Even
superpower
from my
or you're
dad, like I
surviving?
can tell like this nigga. Like I can literally tell.
Is
him
what-
Is that a
Yeah,
superpower?
I
Your ability to do that. Is that a
I think
superpower
so.
or you're
I'm very
surviving?
attentive. It's a bad thing. Like I'm very, even to my yes, like my
It's a
own
survival
father.
thing, right?
Yes, even my
Survival
own father just
instinct,
like
yes.
this nigga capping. Like you people are not able to clock that is lying. Like yeah, and then like later on, when, yeah, like I'll tell. Anyway, it's fine. My parents aren't together. So like later on, yeah,
I guess that's
You-
okay.
you say it like you.
I guess.
Yeah, I'll tell my mom like. Something is off here.
You are the bad child. You're the,
Yeah.
the one who is enabling your mother to have visions.
Yeah, like there's something off here. And then for real, it's gonna clock out a few months later. I'm like, you see, I said, like
I said.
something. You see, I said. So I'm able to like. It's a bad thing, but like in a relationship, I try not to.
It's about
Yes, I try not
It's
to.
actually-
But I'm able to
Truth is
tell
you try.
because
It's a survival mechanism.
Yeah, like
because
even
you're
the-
constantly searching for danger.
the person that
Mm.
I have been with for the longest time. If he watches this, that's his business. But like.
You really don't care about anyone.
He chats a lot when he's lying. Like I chat a lot.
This one is
together.
Yeah.
I used to together this
Yeah,
man.
he even knows. I say I'm chatting a lot. When I just say I'm chatting a lot, just like your time is coming. Yeah. I was like, you're chatting too much.
How to get away
I thought
with
you
it.
go to therapy.
I do it. It made me. You know, therapy makes you a villain, eh?
Hey! Hey!
That's one thing that
Yo,
people don't talk
you are
about.
decampaigning
eh?
therapy.
No,
Yo.
it's good, but
They help, they channel that anger.
the
in
self
a,
awareness.
Mm.
Ooh,
it
it's
usually
not-
doesn't help. It makes
Yes.
you worse.
It's not
self
necessarily
awareness
anger.
makes you worse than.
Because
It's
now
bad,
you
but-
know that
yes,
you are
now you know.
intentionally
Now you know. I
manipulative.
know when I'm being.
Yes.
Yes, you know when you're being manipulative. You know when you're being destructive. You know when you're reaching. All
Like
of
even
those
when you're
things.
staying in a place that's bad for you, like
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, like I know.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, this is bad, but for the plot. Yeah.
No, it's not for the plot.
No,
it's
you
for the
said
fear
that-
of loneliness,
No, you just
of
said this is-
rejection,
You
abandonment.
know, like
As
it's
a
bad.
therapist.
Like,
For the plot.
yes,
You won't do it
know.
for the plot.
You know the circumstances. You know what's at stake.
If I
Then-
die, I die.
If I died, I'm like, for the plot, and then you just dive
So
in.
Self-love, let's teach that
So
to our
now
children.
when
Because I feel like that's a very dangerous way to see things. Like you really need to, first of all, values. All of us have got different ones, and the ones that I want to teach my children and whatever generations follow up is like, even before you learn to love yourself, learn to respect yourself. Number one, because the person who respects themselves will listen to their body, will be able to be emotionally intelligent. Because you can't be a person who has emotional intelligence of a 12-year-old where everything triggers you.
You see, all of that is cultivated. Like you can't tell your child, love yourself, and then you walk around not loving yourself, or then you speak to them in a way that doesn't allow them to love themselves.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to say, oh, let's go and teach self-love in the classroom. It's in how you carry yourself, it's in how you communicate to them.
Lead by example.
In the
So like it's a
yeah.
bit late.
But we are loving ourselves, right? This generation of people. And the children we are having are children that are aware of such a thing as self-love and, self-worth
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Because there's a very skewed...
there's a consistent theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, do you think the way we view popular people now, like if you go back like 200 years ago in a village, do you think, how do you think the social construct around popularity was?
Similar. It's just now.
Don't you think
at a
hunters were like
distance.
popular
The
brands?
ones.
Yes. But now at a distance.
And the gatherers.
Bad guy, man.
And the dancers.
Just kill
Hey,
this.
until when Mutumbu comes to the village, all the women follow him.
It's the same.
This is the Induna telling the story. That's when now you even pick up, oh, so the Induna was actually insecure.
But being popular back in the day should have been nice.
Was
It's still nice now.
Yeah.
It is, but right now it's dangerous.
It was dangerous.
then.
Who do you think killed Shaka?
You know, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's palatable back in the day because you're
Like
popular.
Okay,
you
who
can't
killed-
even
who killed
fuck
Shaka?
up now because you're popular because it's gonna be like
Yes.
Who killed
like
Shaka?
The business will be
In your
But it's not
everybody's
even
face.
No,
the
who
only
killed Shaka?
difference is like now you have an audience.
yes.
Like
that's
from
what
people who don't
probably
even know you,
means.
like they don't even know your last name, but if you start trending,
They'll have something to say
they
about
didn't even
They
know
will find
Zambia
you.
existed, bruh.
even someone like
Like,
this
this nigga's from Zambia.
And
they start-
something.
That's
They'll
crazy.
start following you
Yes.
from
They'll say
nowhere.
something
Threats,
even in
what,
grade two,
what?
He didn't give me a sharp pen. What do you mean?
Oh yeah, but social
Yeah,
media is
they'll be
crazy.
like, I asked for a pen, so said my auntie boy from the UK. Is now the time to start saying such things?
Oh man.
Because like even now,
crazy.
right? If say
We need to start another podcast,
like
and this one
a
is going to be
popular
called The Diary
person.
of a Black Mad Woman.
Ah!
Because
like if a popular person said, oh,
right for
right.
psychological
you
archaeology.
see how what's
Wow.
that guy's name?
Wow.
What's that guy's name
That guy.
in the UK?
Idris Elba.
No,
He's
the other
a
one.
comedian. He makes like these little skits. What's his name? You know him?
No.
McIntyre.
No.
Yeah, not like
He's
it.
also
He's
an
black.
artist.
He's black.
He's a
right?
rapper. UK. He was
Michael
recently
Jackson. Michael
accused of
Jackson.
sexual
Anyway,
assault.
No.
Philly.
Yes,
Yeah.
like Philly,
Yeah.
right? When
Yeah.
Philly first got accused of sexual assault,
Of course.
the girls on the internet were saying, even me. So not to say that like there
Yeah,
wasn't
want to
real
count the
Not
cases.
to
number of people that
invalidate.
say
No,
it.
not to invalidate, but like there's also this thing where like it's a trend. Like
Yeah.
this person's popular. Let me
Let's
also get my
destroy them.
5 minutes of
Let's,
fame.
let's
You get what I
jump
mean?
on
So
the
let me
train.
say this.
Oh
let me
yeah,
say
that's what
this.
it is.
That's
Okay,
what
no,
I
not
mean.
the train.
Yeah.
I don't think that has changed in the game of popularity at all. Like the lead singer of the Beatles was shot by a fan.
Yeah.
Right, in an era where it was a little bit more secluded for the artist and the popular people. I just think now there's more access to you.
Yes.
Right, so
Yeah.
that tweet is the people's access to you. It's like
Yeah.
they can touch you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's why
Back in the
people,
day, it wasn't
it's why
there.
people, yeah, it's why people can say the most outlandish stuff, because to them, now you can't reach me.
Yeah.
So let me put chinks in your arm.
Wait until you kill the boar.
Guang,
That's crazy.
Kijingoto.
guang, guang, guang.
It becomes a song of betrayal and genocide.
Oh man,
Wait.
we just hope Elon isn't watching this. Because he's already okay. No, it's fine. I didn't want to use the
So if
D
they
word.
deport that man,
Oh man, you used the D word.
where's he gonna go?
He'll come here.
Where?
It's coming
We
here.
buy a lot of Islamic products.
I hear he's got a
He'll come
stepmom
here.
in Zambia because the father had a girlfriend in Zambia.
Oh man,
Yeah.
another win for the side chick. It's crazy.
Side chicks are up.
It's the buddy era.
That is the bad.
Let
What
them
do you
do
mean
their thing.
baddie era for how many years?
No,
I
side
know,
chicks
right?
been up, guys.
I think maybe the word is the one that's new, but the behavior has always been there.
Man, all I'm saying is it's crazy out here. Number one. Number two, there was a lady who was giving me a crazy stat with regards the possessiveness of women, yeah? So she was telling me that, bro, number one, there are less men than women. Number one. So on a population standpoint, there are more women than men. Number two, from the pool of men that women have to choose from, there's also less men still.
And 50% are gay.
Is that the stat?
Lavender, yes.
80.
Apparently
80%
of men are gay.
Apparently,
I think that's true.
it's not a reputable
Turn
stat,
that
but
50 to 80.
she's saying 80.
80% of men are
80%.
gay.
Yeah, because there's the closeted ones, right?
Jesus
Yes,
Christ,
yeah.
Who have you guys been seeing? Like,
No, I mean, there's not.
she looks like she's got stories.
Girl, hit us up. We want to give you a side eye.
Yeah.
This is the one time where your anger is welcome.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, the 50% makes sense. Let me prove it to you.
It
Okay,
can be
okay,
more.
word.
Destro, throw this with your right hand.
But I'm left-handed.
No, throw it with your right hand.
I saw this.
Throw it with your right hand. No!
How you want me to
Like
throw
you
it?
need to throw it from the
Throw it.
back.
Oh, throw it. Bring the thing back.
That's good.
Okay, it's good.
There's another one.
I had a bottle here.
Bring back.
Niggas is gay.
I've seen the way you've thrown it.
But then when you do that experiment, it's going to be 100% gay.
No,
No.
throw it with your right hand with as much force as you can.
As much force. Where?
In my direction.
Okay.
So, is that
Okay.
Mom.
No. You throw that.
Now throw it with your left hand.
Hello, I'm left-handed.
Yeah, now use the strength, Kylie.
The difference in how you've thrown these things, when people watch the footage back, 50% is going to look at it. They want you to do it on time.
Wow. No, just make sure on that scene you cut to Musa.
Slow motion, man.
Wow.
Elmo with a
Wow.
replay, boomerang.
As you were saying,
On which part?
I don't know. You said 8%.
I want another drink. Can
I was trying to say turn that 50 up to 80.
Turn a 6 upside down. It's a 9 now.
But where were you going with your
Your
I
50%.
can't even.
50%?
Yes. So what she was telling me was from the pool of men that well, she didn't even say. She didn't even say that no 50% are gay. She just said
There's less
from
and
the-
less men.
there's less and less men to choose from. So she understands why someone would
Be a side
be okay with being a side chick. Even if they're not the main side chick, even if they're side chick number 3, even if they are number 5 in the pecking order, so long they get to experience that particular man, they're cool with it.
Okay,
Is
so
there a cut-off line?
I've got a question. The main chick side chick conversation. First of all, if you're not married, you don't have a side chick, you have girlfriends. Like, let's respect ourselves. Bruh.
If you're not married.
If you are not married,
Mhm.
you do not have a side chick. You have,
You have girlfriends.
multiple women.
Partners.
Yes. Let's not be out here. No,
You are
I'm the main chick, side
duplicity.
chick. You are either the wife or you are not.
The
Simple as.
duplicitous.
Simple as. But also, I want to ask a question.
Duplicitous nature.
The whole I'm a main chick thing, right? Like, you even know your man is cheating. Like, your man has other women. But it's okay because I'm the one who gets posted on social media. Like, we have access to the same man, the same experiences.
Yes.
But because you get posted
Some claim difference
Off
of
camera.
experience.
different,
Off camera. No, you can say something.
difference of experience.
Yes, there's because I like to have these what I call picking your mind conversations, right? Because I ask. I've been presented situations before where people say, "Look, me, I'm dating a married on," and I would ask, "Why?"
No, we're not talking about married people.
No. I'm just giving you a scenario.
No, I'm asking
where I
about
pick
I'm
people's
asking
minds.
about the people
Eh-heh.
that are not married.
Because I try to understand the
Like,
psychology.
this is not your husband,
Eh-heh.
right?
Eh.
And he has multiple partners clearly, or he has another partner who is also knee deep in, right? Or else deep in. But what I'm saying is, you being a main chick and they being a side chick, it's the same guy, same man. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, I get
Yeah,
what
I think
she
you can-
means.
Do you know what I mean?
Tell us.
Like at any point,
I'm
this man
following
can just
because
decide to go to
there's
South Africa and leave all of
particular
you,
scenarios that I know.
Exactly.
and just like
Exactly.
find new side chicks there.
Exactly.
Conquering new
You have
territory.
no claim.
That's kind of how it goes.
Exactly. That's my
It's not as an
point.
exit
Because even the
It's an
so-called,
exit strategy.
I promise you, because even the so-called main chick might not even be the woman he ends up with or settles down with. Do you get what I mean?
It could be because he's able to manipulate her and whatnot. So she'll be the one that he ends up with actually. Yes, because she's very, very tolerant. Yes, so it has to be that one. So I mean, backs up more in future. Because he's still got like a couple of more fuck ups to do. So it's gonna be you.
I guess
You're the
that's fair.
chosen one.
I guess that's fair.
Do you
Yeah.
ever feel like there's a little bit of I am the one in there for her?
Yes.
Like she knows.
Yes.
Like, I think is that the question you're trying
Yes.
to ask?
That's the
Like,
question I'm trying to
You
ask.
know that he's cheating, but
Yes.
you know that he's coming
Home
home
is
to you.
home.
and
Yes.
you
I'm
know
the one who's home.
But is that a proud moment
For
or it's
some
pathetic?
people.
No,
It's pathetic.
listen.
What do you mean?
It's
Listen.
pathetic, yes.
Here's
Because
this
women
is-
go on social media and scream to say, "Hey, he might fuck around with you hoes, but he's gonna come back home to me." Like,
Exactly. You dig what I'm saying? I try to understand that psychology. I'm always asking questions like, okay, so you suppose you feel like home to the guy, but you know he's going to mess around, right? I had
Clearly not
this-
home enough if he wants to visit every other house.
Listen. I had this conversation with
It's a hot topic.
I had this conversation with a South African lady. This is all the way back in like 2019. And she made a particular sentiment to me because I was still dating at the time. My wife, we were still just dating at the time. And she, because I was there to perform poetry. So she started this conversation by asking me the question to go like, you look like the type who's got someone home, like where you come from. And I was like, yeah, definitely. And then she was like, okay, but you're not home right now. what if you made this your second home? She was referring to herself. And I'm like, I can't.
Popumuli.
I can't do that. Wow.
Let's stop.
Wow. So
That's what it is. You know, a resto.
Cause I was like, and I asked her the same question that I tried to ask just now. I was like, but why would you be comfortable with that? Wouldn't you want your own man? And she went down this spiral of telling me about how the Zambian men apparently are like a thing in the
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently,
Very
like,
popular.
if you
For a
get
lot
a
of
Zambian
reasons.
man, you're good. Because those men care for you. Zulu men don't. Zulu men would rather kill you.
And they don't end up in the ghettos. They live in like the nice
Yeah,
areas.
like they'll stay in the white areas.
Yes,
like
they'll
if
stay in
it's
the
in
white
Jozi,
areas. Yes.
Midrand,
Santon. That's what they want.
Always.
Yes. So, always. So she was telling me about how Zulu men are so accustomed to the entitlement for a woman that you saying no is just as good as you being dead. So Zambian men take care of you. Nigerians, they'll say, no, these guys are scammers. The second, it's like there's a pecking order. There's Zambians, they go for them.
But that one, they're not even in the running.
Well, Zambians.
Zambians, then Zimbos,
Yeah.
then they count Nigerians, then maybe Malawians. Then now they'll be like, oh, okay, got myself a
Nigerians is
man who
never for
speaks my language.
stability, it's for a good time.
For a good time. So there you can
It's
be a
crazy
proud
that you know
side chick.
I live there.
Of course.
That wasn't fair. That was really immature.
No, actually, I'm not even offended, guys.
I do these jokes all the time.
Don't misunderstand. I'm not even offended. Like, I'm speaking from experience.
Yes.
But I don't know about this whole Zambian man thing. Like, that's it.
Because you are a Zambian. You are a Zambian. You are,
Maybe because
familiarity breeds contempt.
Yeah, maybe I was coming back from home.
Wow.
What I learned.
So basically the point that she went to was she doesn't mind because it's a culture thing. They're already accustomed to polygamous men because she's Zulu, right? So she was speaking from that standpoint to say, because of where I come from, that's okay. And I wouldn't mind if it's a Zambian man. You dig what I'm saying? But I still queried to say,
But I also believe a lot of men are not monogamous.
Even women are
Especially-
not monogamous.
No, but a lot of
Women are not monogamous.
A lot of
monogamous.
Zambian men are
throw
not
it in the
monogamous.
gauntlet.
I mean,
But
like,
even
sometimes
women
you just
are
pretend.
not monogamous.
Exactly, and you just pretend because
All
you're
of you are polyamorous.
like,
you ain't on cam.
no, because they're like, if I tell this chick that I want other women, she'll leave, right? So then you do it in secret.
There are some ones.
Steve- then you have side chicks.
There are some
Steve
ones who
Hawkins
tell the
cheated.
girl, they
Steve
tell her
Hawkins
straight
can
up.
cheat. If Steve Hawkins
Oh
can-
my
on
God.
the wheelchair, he
Oh
just
my
said, look
God.
left.
He's got money.
He just like,
He's got money.
look
though.
left if you want to shine and
He's
And
got-
they
he's
used to
got
have
money.
one
he
sexy
just said if I
person.
look left and you want to shine and he looked left and she was just like,
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
That's like, but that's my point.
Oh my gosh.
A lot of us just pretend, like we pretend we
You're
want,
very rude, you know that.
like we pretend we want one partner, but we really don't. Like we really don't.
But it's the same with women. I want us to
Yes,
agree
no, like
with that.
I'm not even arguing, but there's also women like that. But a lot of men, because they don't want to lose that one girl, right? They'll say,
Yes.
okay, I'll have this one as my girlfriend, but I'll still step out of my relationship,
Yeah.
right? Because you're scared that if I tell her that I want other women, that
But-
might not be what
and
she
thi-
wants.
This is
That's my point. So you enter a
Women
relationship.
can share.
Exactly, but you enter the relationship already knowing that you
no.
don't plan
Let's
to
let's
like,
let's let's
Listen,
debunk.
how many guys do you know who are side guys who are cool? They're like on the low. They're like, yeah.
All of you
Baby,
are side niggas. All of you are side niggas to somebody.
I'm a Mario.
Hey,
baby,
not
you
not
should
even about Mario.
love
You the way you are, you're even like a very important person in whatever society. But there's a woman who is sleeping with you and telling you I love you and my baby, but is sleeping with two other niggas somewhere. And women, for me, what I've learned is that when it comes to sexual escapism, as they call it, women indulge it more freely because you would expect me to fight you, like to use all these things to, like a peacock and what to get your attention. But you just decide to say, I want this nigga, and you make it happen.
Yes.
With women, it's easy for them to do whatever they want.
Yes.
But men have to have game. A woman doesn't even have to have game.
Yeah.
No,
So-
but that's a lie. First of all, that's a lie.
It depends on the kind of man she wants. That's where
Exactly.
the game comes in.
No, but also you can't just see a nigga walking down the street and be like, I want that, and you
No,
have
I think
that.
the point is making is that you can get any guy.
If you want, yes.
Yes, if you want.
You know
And
what I
the
mean?
man
Men
gets
are
better
not
than
that
man.
picky.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? As
She
a
agrees
man,
with
it's
me.
like, we're out with the code.
Right.
You say, yeah.
That's my point. And that's my point. Like men don't even like sometimes you look at your partner and you look at the person that cheated on you with, bruh. Like it's insulting. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there was no like, oh you didn't even this is not even I'm like, wait,
Guys, Heidi Klum
No.
was with Seal.
Men are dogs.
no, but I'm saying like you are not. There's not even like, oh, I was attracted. It was just like we were in the same room at the same time. Brah.
And
One
that's
time
it.
inside.
That's why if you're my
That's my
bestie.
point.
Ah.
That's my point. And then like men could have like a sexual encounter with a woman and like they would never think about her ever again. Like it could just be that. No, it could be like that happened and
But
they even move on with their lives.
But girls are capable of that too, especially in today's society where
I think women
you don't
are
have to be
more
more.
capable of that because that man you're talking about is a specific kind of guy, right? Like he's been around the mill, he's like even desensitized to it.
Yeah.
The average guy, let him hit once, the world has changed for him. He might front like he's being cool, but he's like, I'm
Who
ready.
shows you?
That's where the phrase ready to risk it all comes from.
Yeah.
It's from that back swimming of you're ready to give someone your everything, you know what I mean? Whereas I think women can like gauge it a little bit more, so much more that she can be in a marriage with a man. And she's giving him all the pleasures and she also has, and she's holding it down. Men are the ones who get caught because they're not able to do that.
To
That's
jump.
like where,
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
no, but what I'm
You
trying
nailed
to
it.
say is like you can literally have a sexual encounter with someone. Like you just met in the club. You just met this girl. Like maybe
People
it's
just need to be
because
honest.
she rubbed you a certain way, or like you took too many
Or
shots
she
and all of a
smells
sudden,
nice.
exactly. Like it's little things like that, and you hit.
It's the little
And you
things.
She
did
has hair.
like
I'm not sure about the other eye, but I know she has got an eye that can see.
right, and then you
can
move
see how-
on. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like it would be like nothing happened. You know, sometimes you even ask your man like, "But why did you do it?" I don't know. And it's not like, oh, I'm trying to insult you. They genuinely don't know sometimes. Like you don't know why you did what you did because now that
Primal
you
instincts
have
kicked in.
post-camp clarity,
It's not primal
you're like,
instincts, it's
shit.
like self-esteem.
What the hell? What did I
It's
do that
really
for?
self-esteem because why do you need so much validation from all of these women?
Because we come from groups of
Wait,
friends
is it-
who are men who are cool and also you want to fit in there.
Exactly.
You want to go there with your
Unfortunately.
what do they call that?
Exactly, but I just feel
The
like
soldier
if we were-
stories.
if
There's
we
a
went back
particular
to
name
this
they have.
self-love thing
Yeah.
we're talking about, if you truly loved, respected, and valued yourself, you think you just you're just inside anyone. It wouldn't. And even this hit list that men will sit
That's
down
an
and have
ego
group chats
thing,
about, like,
yes.
oh, look who I'm smashing now, or look who let me smash. It really just shows how insecure and like
But women have these bucket lists also.
really insecure you are about
It's not
yourself.
the same.
So it's
It's
out
like,
of
oh,
insecurity.
it's like now I've
Yes.
hit this. I'm this guy. Or like,
Yeah,
guys,
oh,
you remember this girl everyone
And
couldn't
literally
cheat.
always-
So who is
Man,
that
if you
one
got-
guy who, if you hit, you feel you are like the one, you are the bad?
But that's the thing, I don't have that.
Why are you lying?
She's
No,
not
I'm not even
insecure.
lying. I don't need to lie. I literally have no reason to lie. Who's going to beat me
Yeah,
up?
she's not insecure.
No,
People
like,
who
who
do
beat me
that,
up?
that's an
You're telling me,
insecurity.
like-
It's an insecurity.
Yes,
too.
I'm
cheating is
telling
an
you,
insecurity.
no, I'm
And
telling
not
you, there's
for the
no,
other
like, there's
person.
no nigga right now who I can say, oh, until I hit that guy, I want to taste. No.
Aye?
Because why?
Michael B.
You, my
all
boy, you
women
are going
think
to
like
enter
this.
inside.
Michael B.
No.
I thought we were having an
no.
authentic,
No,
you know.
it is
It is an authentic conversation, and
Yeah.
I don't need to pretend. If I had that one guy, I would say, oh yeah, there's that one guy. But no.
Kufwana no.
Well, you should follow no.
it's
And
not.
my body count is 3.
0. 0.
Yeah, the
What
first
do you
one.
mean? I
Virgin.
never
Purely
did
virgin. Purely.
No, I just feel like there's a lot of ways in which we view sex or sexual encounters.
Yeah.
And for me, like, firstly, for me to even find you sexually attractive, I have to be emotionally attractive to you. Like I have to
Even
to like you to a certain degree for you to even be able to turn me on. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because just seeing you, yes, yeah, you could be gorgeous looking. I'm like, shit, that's a fine man, but not fine enough for me to be like,
Back up, yeah.
no.
Well, I guess maybe the story becomes worse when people become like sex addicts, because that's a conversation people don't talk about. They just think it's
But sometimes we're looking for our parents in
No
these people, right?
insecurity.
You know
but
that?
it's actually
or it's
addiction.
insecurity. Yeah, it's
There are
an
some
actual
people who are
addiction.
just addiction.
And
It's
Don't
really
yeah.
They will do anything that moves.
And the worst
They'll
part
find
is
the
that-
chicken.
Because when you look at the
Not
guy,
the chicken
like,
guy.
bro,
Not the chicken. Come on.
you've
No,
seen
no.
those on the news. You used to watch the news, but I used to see the chickens, bruh. They were violated.
chicken.
What?
A
I remember that
goat, a
report.
dog.
Bro.
People be out here.
Bro, people be out here.
But the thing with especially being addicted to sex is that it usually starts off as boredom, or because the guys, they're always beating you to do things like this, so you can fit in. So many reasons, but at some point it stops being a fun sport and turns into an identity.
Yeah.
So once it becomes who you are, because there's some people who they can't enter a club and live without anyone to go in,
True.
Yeah.
So that's just who they are.
If they
And
go,
also,
2
like,
days, tabari depo.
when we
Ah,
go
Rosie
back,
Fiambokuba.
when we go back to talking about how trauma affects us, right? Sometimes you maybe had a parent who wasn't very present, or maybe your mom died when you were young, so you didn't have that female figure in your life, right? When I say you search for your mom in these places, I don't mean like, oh, you actually want this person to be your mom. You search for
Validation.
closeness.
And
Not just validation, for closeness.
Affection.
Because
Yeah.
the only time you feel close to someone or seen or cared for is when you're inside
I get what you
someone.
mean.
Yeah.
Because when you're having sex with someone, that is so intimate, so close.
So vulnerable.
Exactly.
And you're naked, your bodies are playing.
Yes,
eh?
and then you look
Why are
for
you
that.
clapping?
But because you don't know what it is, right? You're not aware enough to understand why you do that.
Yeah.
You now think this is what it is.
Yeah.
For me to feel loved or feel close or feel seen,
need this.
I need this. That's why you would lie to girls and say, oh, I want to be your girlfriend. The moment you have sex with her, you're out.
Yeah.
Because for you, that was what you needed, and that's exactly what you wanted. So I feel like when we start having more honest conversations, you know what I mean, where we become self-aware, but honest conversations with each other, because someone can be able to have a conversation with you and tell you, oh, Brian, have you thought about this way? You know what I mean? Not where, hey,
Just do it.
Brian, I'm on number 45.
Boy 787.
And the
years
boys
old
are like,
now.
yeah. You get what I mean? So like, why do I need to change? Because now, if I tell you,
Why?
I just hit like number 47, I'm beating my chest. You're there praising me. And then that's exactly what I was looking for. Because I wanted to feel seen. I wanted to feel important.
Yeah.
So
But
when
the
I do
problem-
this, my boys make me feel like I'm the
The
guy.
The problem with
But I like how you explained,
Yeah.
you went on a tangent and explained it from the man's perspective.
Yeah.
And
But even women.
there's no comparison. Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll be judging women for dating sponsors or older men or whatever, but they're really searching for their dads. Like when you have the father wound, even in your relationships, you don't see your partner as your partner. You are looking for your dad.
protector.
So even the things that you expect of this person are things you would have wanted your dad to provide.
yeah.
There's this level of safety
like
that
to
you
be
expect,
babied.
right? Not because it's like, oh, women want this security, but also it's like, I never felt safe growing up because my dad wasn't there, and I want you to provide that for me.
Provide safety.
So you know how like everyone's like, oh, women are emotional, are crazy, are hysterical. It is our responsibility to manage our emotion. But it's so important to have a father in your life, or a father figure in your life, or just a man in your life, because
Non-sexual though.
biologically our children, female children are closer to their dads, right? So when you're growing up, there's this level of protection only a father can provide.
Yeah.
So now you didn't have that.
Protection, structure, and perspective.
You didn't have that, right? Growing up. So now you either find it in these older men because now they are older. And older men always come with this, let me
Perks,
spend
yeah.
money on you.
I take care of you.
Exactly. And sometimes
So we
these
just
niggas,
fucked from like inception.
yes. And until we unfuck ourselves, it's over. Like
And
it's
that's why adulting is not easy, guys.
Yes, exactly. Because
Because it's not only that, but it's also our relationship with like money, employment, entrepreneurship,
Debt,
all of these,
all of those
debt, all of those things.
are
Like,
linked to how we
need
see
to
ourselves.
write a book.
They're linked to how we see ourselves. And the problem is
How to
when we
un-F
don't
yourself.
get to the point where we are aware enough to see like shit, this is why I do this. People will go their whole lives believing that's who they are.
And that's the majority of the people.
Yes, and you're like me, that's what I just want. I'm just like this. No, you're not.
But you know, the thing is that, and that's why, yes, going for therapy is good.
Yeah.
It is.
But then most people
very good.
have
I've been
this
to therapy.
realization, like, as they go without even intention, but they just have this realization. So this is why I act the way I act. This is where I come from. And then it causes some sort of a cognitive dissonance to the point where your reality now and your belief system, they're misaligned.
Yeah.
Then now you feel shame, you feel as though you're worthless, you feel all of these things. Then now that's when people start to have serious problems now.
And not even that, you know those people that like we judge who feel like they're these guys in public. When they're alone, they really bully themselves. Like those guys who come in public and they're like, I'm the guy, the one who slept with 60 women because I'm that guy. He sits there in his room by himself and he feels empty. Or even those women who you judge, Maja, she's just a baddie, she's a what? She just dates these guys for trips. But when she sits, but when she sits with herself, like all of these things, they dawn on her, but she just doesn't understand, right? So now we grow up and believing, like, first of all, you're aware enough, right? At this point, you're not self-aware. So you can't even get to a point where like, shit, this is why I do what I do, right? But sometimes you get to that level of self-awareness a little too late, and you're like, shit, I'm already fucked up. My reputation looks like this. Like, look at that Ivanka Bianca thing, right? Everyone dragged this woman for getting married.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you get what I mean? But then the thing is, everyone is expectant of this thing, and that's why I believe that we all just mirror ourselves with other people. What you really judge someone else for doing, you hate so much only because you can't do it yourself. You want to do it. You want to do it. You see these bodies on Instagram, you're judging them. Hey, you just saw yourself. You want to do that too. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Hang on. This is the point on the red table talk where everybody news and goes like,
right? Because everyone, like that person is just confident enough to do it. But you want to do it. Let me
I had
judge.
to practice. Like, so I watched all of them. Like, should I behave? How should I do?
Because
Like a podcast etiquette.
podcast
so it's
etiquette.
easier to judge what you deep down would like to do.
yeah.
If you didn't have what will people think of me, best believe you'd be in Dubai on a yacht as well.
And shaking that
So
ass.
even with men,
No shame.
So even with men, they'll be like judging these women.
As an on?
Look at it's one
You
like
do what
a
you
skate
can.
that vala or jump girls. Or you want a girl who wears skirts like that. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why you have men sometimes, the wife, no, don't dress like this. But the bodies that he's chasing are naked.
They are naked. No, there are some people who even justify that. They'll be like, no, wife is for respect.
Exactly.
Women are for respect, no matter who they are.
Exactly. That's my
how it
point.
should be.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it should be.
Yeah.
But like you said, we have this dissociation where also we want to make what we're doing make sense. So we also tell ourselves like, this is the right thing if I do it like this.
Yeah.
So as long as it's not my wife, it's somebody else's child,
Yeah.
I'm not paying for
What
those
will
mistakes.
people think of me?
Exactly.
It's why people move in the shadows, because they
live
fear
3
what
lives,
people,
one man.
They fear what people will think of them. That's why,
That is
coming
really
back to the initial point I wanted to stress out, that 3 women actually experience 3 different sides
Of this man.
of the same man. Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
Like
it's
who is with
because-
you and who is with me.
It's
Even
not
with
too
friends,
easy.
That's why we're both in love, my
Like
dear.
I would see posts on things like
And how I did that.
these Zambian pages that are supposed to give us good news, but they don't. So, or rather, news that's reputable. They would rather do a gossip column on who's cheating on who.
Yeah.
So this one time, they posted a meme at somebody's father, at baby. Awe Patricia. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, to her, he is a baby. You dig what I'm saying? But at home, he's a respectable dad.
When he's
the one who
with his
provides.
No, when he hoots at the gate, everybody runs from the living room.
Yes, but even in her
have you
presence,
noticed that there's a particular demographic of men who are like locked in that behavioral system? Mainly they are Gen Xers. These are people who are born in the 70s and things like that.
Yes, but
So
you
now
know that their inner child actually wants to.
that's what I want to say. Like
So
they grow up
relate
they grow up in
Yes.
servitude and poverty, and now they're making money.
Yeah.
And now they want the girl that they can afford that mirrors their
No, sometimes it's not even about
Yeah.
that. That girl will make them feel seen.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes. Kunganda is just an
At
ATM
home, your
machine.
wife will
No.
know. You know, there's like a
Yes.
certain. You know how he said like with her is genuinely a baby. He can be a kid. He can be playful. He can be
even
childlike.
raps.
Yes.
But she's my deep one could change.
Wow.
Yes, no, I get what she's saying.
He has a thriving rap career with his
I
side
get
chick.
what she's saying because there's a book that I'm reading called Why Men Love Beaches. And literally, please don't judge.
Is it an ebook?
It's just the title.
Why are you
of the
So you
that,
want
eh?
that book?
No, it's the title.
You know it's gonna teach you how to be a bitch.
Yeah, of course.
Go.
Good girls don't get the corner office.
Be a bad girl like Million Young
What
and
is
get
that?
the
That
bonus.
Ugandan thing he said. The Ugandan
Good
member of
girls
parliament.
don't-
Yeah,
She
yeah.
said, "Nice. I'm a bad girl.
Yes.
Nice girls
No,
don't get
as in,
anywhere."
literally, what she's saying is the same thing. Men love to be babied and to be taken care of. In the same sense, like you guys love to
Even
show
just
like
being
you're
honest with
masculine,
yourselves.
you're providers, you're all of that. But if there's one thing that a man loves, is a safe space.
Yes, and when you feel
That's
safe,
just that.
like when you feel safe
feel
with a
safe
woman,
with a woman,
you will do
that
the
is
most
just one.
random.
He would do the
things.
most for you when a man.
Yeah,
feels safe.
that's why Samson had his haircut.
That is very
Exactly.
true.
That's
the
true.
only thing
Yes,
that
That's
matters.
So
true
when-
because even if you find a girl
Yes,
who genuinely
when I
allows you to
provide-
be yourself,
Yes, I provide you with an environment that makes you
And
feel
this-
seen, makes you feel heard. Like I value all your efforts. I see what you're doing. Just those my little things. Hi babe, what do you want to eat today? Like,
I play with your hair.
Yes.
What? Just
These niggas from the 70s are bold. I don't know what hair you playing with.
You
But
head
To your
massage.
stage 10 alopecia.
why you gotta do Jada like that?
Scalp massage.
That works.
I'll clean your ears.
Wow.
And then we could talk for hours.
You know this is why Mav
Cool.
complains actually.
Please.
Yes, so
Yeah.
to your point, oh man, what did I want to even say?
About how women
We
baby you.
talked so
No,
much.
I know, we need to
Even
Yeah,
learn.
not
for
me.
yours. Let's learn.
It's like,
Yes, so there was a point you had raised earlier where what was this? About feeling seen,
Heard, felt.
being respected. Remember when you said that sometimes when you look at who he's cheated on you with, you're like, nigga, have some standards.
No.
That one, who when you compare, you're like, I don't understand
It's an
why he
ego
would
thing.
go for. It's because that one made him feel seen.
Say,
That one-
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes.
But also, I'm not saying that to say, look out for your competition and make sure you are doing the right thing. At the end of the day, people also have to realize that
Cheating
loving,
is a choice.
yes, loving people is a choice. Cheating is also a choice. You owe it to yourself and who you choose
Yeah.
to be honest with them. And, you know, like you said, there are those who hide to say, me, I've got a weird palette of taste. But if I tell this one and I tell this one, they might not want to indulge me.
Exactly.
You know, but me, I want to indulge
In
them.
all of them.
But
Because-
also maybe the lesser girl, wanamupunzisa mnyumba, so she can do my back
It's not
summers.
about Muyu.
No,
It's not about
but also
back
you see that's my
summers.
point,
I
right?
could give
And
you
that's what
back
the nigga wants.
summers.
No, but why? Okay,
And
if,
these
okay.
women who know
No,
their
Okay,
rights.
if that's what you want, why don't you stay there? Why have you come
A
back?
woman that knows her rights can deep throat, like lit up to here. But like
Sister.
no, but like if a man just chooses say this one doesn't make me feel seen, I'm gone. You do it. Like guys,
I want you to hit that dingly thing that sits at the back of my throat.
no, like you go
Why are you quoting Cardi B lyrics, bro? Like,
no, I'm being for you go. Your lungs, okay. But as long as you don't make that man feel seen or head, you go. He'll be
Yeah.
who can't then
why.
Me, my house is in. Yeah, you will be like, me, my house is in Ibex, and air corner.
I even have a job at Zesco.
I work.
I'm a manager.
I work. I don't ask for money. I don't shiny. But for the fact that you don't give him a safe space enough, and that's it, and that's why her point comes in.
Who has ever watched that movie where it's a white couple, right? So the wife is screaming at their husband for cheating to say, what makes her so special? Is she prettier than me? Is she what, like saying all those things? And then she kept on screaming at him. Then he responded to say, she doesn't call me stupid.
It's never even that, but like,
Could be that.
It could be that.
Could be,
You don't have to
You said
dismiss it.
safe space.
yeah,
He feels attacked because she calls him stupid.
that's.
I mean,
true.
he listed a few other things like he doesn't
Yes.
make me feel. He doesn't make me feel this,
Yes.
and things like that.
And that was pretty much my point.
Yeah.
Are you going to create a safe space, eh?
I try for the person that I'm with. I do try my best.
Because you're giving
Yeah.
Pandora vibes.
No,
He ain't never seen this
no,
side.
I do try. No,
of
I've
her.
had my shortfalls, but like over time, therapy helps you unlock certain things in your brain. You're like, okay, but I was a bad person, but yeah, like there, I fucked up. I did what I did, and then you realize, and then you say, okay, I need to show up also for my partner in this way. Because then the thing with therapy, you're also open to have certain sessions with your parents. Because in order to heal like your wounds, you have those sessions with your parents. You can have with your partner. Yeah, and then you get to also see to say, okay, you're not the only victim
Yeah.
in this, and
Struggle
that's
Olympics.
what it should be. Like, yes, we've all gone through things, we've all experienced stuff, but you're not the victim.
Yeah.
Even your parents are victims. Like for me, I always felt like I was the victim, especially with my dad. I was like, I had like deep daddy issues. I was like, that man's a villain, like all the time. But then like later on, I have never had a therapy session with him, but like later on, it also made me realize that, okay, you know what, he's human and he was also just trying to find his way. So
Yeah, and you also.
he's also a victim of certain things.
Yeah.
Like in as much
I'm a
as
victim
I
of
chose my mom's
circumstance.
side like all the time, I'll pick my mom's side any day. But then I realized I said, even her, like there, you know.
She could have done better.
Yes, like it opens up
So-
your eyes.
So
yeah.
there's this album that Tyler the Creator, yes, I almost said Tyler Perry for some reason. Tyler the Creator dropped an album recently. It's his latest album, Chromacopia. So his mother narrates through each song. So there's a particular song that he did where his mother confesses that it's her fault that he didn't grow up with her
Oh,
father.
I think I heard that. It's like it was like a recording, like an insert.
Yes, at the beginning, it's called Like Him.
Yeah.
So how he explores that trauma is
It
from
was a
the
little
fact
too
that
late, though.
it was a little too late because she's telling him this as
an
a
adult.
grown man,
Yeah.
like, yo, I see certain
I-
things in you that even though I kept your daddy away, you still remind me of your dad.
Yeah.
You know, like you still, you know, you are your father's child, and I'm sorry I didn't let you experience him. I am the reason why you didn't grow up with a father. And how many times do we see in this life of ours where the man is villainized and he's kept away from his kids, and sometimes we even call him a deadbeat, but we don't know the full story. Maybe he was just kept away from the kids. You know, so I guess to land this, because yes, we can keep going.
Right.
You know, we
Excellent.
started talking about survivors of plane crashes, cheating death 7 times. I bet you that man's an angel because 7 times
He's a
cheat
child of
death.
God. So the people who think they're children of God,
Nah, there's that Croatian
There's that
man.
level.
He
There's
died
that
in
Croatian man.
2016. And he
No, he died.
His money. Yeah, he actually donated his millions and whatnot. Yeah, stuff.
So he donated his
Wait, how did he
millions
die?
and then he
I
got
don't know how
raptured
he died.
and he
Was it
He's
very
died.
dead?
old age, like 86, something like.
after all that,
He
he died
died
of
at
old age.
86. Yeah, he cheated death like 7 times.
That's crazy.
Is there someone who had a lightning strike him and then it like broke
I
his...
think so. I think
Wow.
so. I need to like read more.
That's crazy.
Yep. Yeah,
That's
let's
crazy.
land.
So, speaking of plane crashes, we're landing. So, you know, we have Ramesh who survived as well. Hopefully, he doesn't have to cheat death 7 times. We wish him all the best in his survival journey because life, in and of itself, can be hard and difficult. We've also established that side chicks are 10 up.
Look at Camila. She became a queen.
Oh my gosh.
She became a queen.
Oh my god. They up 20 0.
No, I'm
they
not
up
a
20
side chick. I have my own person.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
yeah.
There was a point where you almost confessed that you might not be the only one. Sam Smith vibes.
Can never be me. I'm like my mom. I'll pack and go. Face size, I'm out. Yeah.
Anyway, just because the side chicks are appearing
my
to
mom
be
never
winning
dictated
doesn't
this.
mean you should wake up and
Maybe
decide
face size,
to
face
be a
size,
side
I'm out.
chick. We will give you a side eye. Yeah, that's it for my side jokes. And finally, we also looked at adulting and how nuanced it is. You know, I think it also pours into everything that we've spoken about, really, because life is a journey. We are continually growing up and learning. Anyone who limits their learning isn't learning at all. So, yeah, I think this has been a very fruitful conversations, guys. I hope to see you on the next edition of Side Eye. And to the viewers out there, please follow us on all the things and platforms that you are on. We are also there. Please like and share and subscribe to our channel. You dig what I'm saying? It has been Nina. It has been Musa. I'm not calling you uncle tonight. Yeah. Has been Cecilia and myself, of course, the friendly neighborhood poet, Destro. Big ups to our sponsor, Star, for all the beverages that we have been able to enjoy on this episode. And peace.
Half a kilometer away from the crash.
Oh,
He's
for
walking,
sunlight.
just like,
This story is like for that nigga was resurrected. No one saw him die.
Oh, did he walk away from the plane?
That's insane.
Yes, walking, bro. He's in to my bruises, then straight to the hospital. At the hospital, suddenly he was looking worse.
Right?
Yes, like on the hospital bed. Yeah, I understand. Like swelling takes a while. But guys, guys,
you wake up, that's when the bruising.
they just said, you're looking too
There was
clean.
jet lag when the injury.
There was jet lag on the injury.
No,